Before I dive into this video, I just wanted to say all of the profits I make from this video will all be donated to some type of relief or organization to combat these fires. I try to keep all the conversations on this channel strictly basketball, but I do still try to do that in this video. However, I do talk about the fires and what's going on in the situation, and I don't want to feel like I'm profiting by any means off of this conversation. So all of the profit from this video will be donated. Please let me know down in the comments any type of organization. I know that there's a lot of bad organizations. I don't even know where to begin. So please, if you know of any organizations that would be good to donate to, let me know down in the comments, because look, I'm not a big YouTuber. I don't make a lot of money off of individual videos. Even if this video gets like 10,000 views or something, it's not going to be, you know, a ton of money, but whatever it is, I do want it to go, at least as much of it, go to the actual cause as possible. I know some of these organizations keep a percentage and stuff, but I want to make sure as much as possible is going to help the relief. So please let me know down in the comments. Also, I never ask you to share these videos. I do ask you to like and subscribe, but never to share. If you're ever going to share a video, this is the video to share, just because, like I said, all of the profit I make from this video, I will be donating, because I don't want to feel like I'm profiting off of these conversations. So enjoy the video. Again, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments, and let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? So this California situation is crazy. I did a video over on AIS, the Lakers show. You know, I talked about that initial thing, how the game got postponed with the Charlotte Hornets. It's going to be really interesting to see how the NBA kind of figures this out. Do they send the Lakers and these teams to Vegas, right? Because they don't leave California till the 27th, right? So it's a lot of home games or like California games. I'm really interested to see, like, how does the NBA do this? Vegas is in the backyard. Could they maybe do something like that to where, you know, the Lakers end up going and sending them there, like, or here, because I'm in Vegas, right? Send them here, and maybe that's where they play their home games, which they'd still have the home crowd and all that stuff. I'm interested to see how that plays out. But since I made that video about the postponing and all that, we've gotten new information, got new details. Particularly, JJ Redick is one of the people amongst that have lost their home. It's incredibly unfortunate, right? I mean, one, obviously, JJ Redick being a Laker, being the Lakers head coach, but two, all the other people that have just been impacted by this, right? Look, I'm born and raised in California. All my family and stuff still live in California. I'm talking to them constantly, trying to, you know, make sure that they're good. If they need anything like that, please check on your loved ones, make sure everyone's okay, because this is crazy, right? Like, you know, I try not to talk about like the drama or all the outside news. I try to keep this just strictly basketball, right? Because there's just so much other conversation and other things. So, you know, people ask me stuff all the time, like, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? Or this, you know, like when Christian Wood was having his thing, right? Like, what do you think about Christian Wood? And I like to keep this strictly basketball, because it's a basketball channel, right? Like, this isn't an opinion channel. This isn't some drama channels, anything like that. But this is something that is very, like, impactful. This is something that, one, impacts the Lakers. And we'll talk about, like, the basketball side of things and that here to keep it basketball related. But to kind of continue on, like, with this, it's just like, this is something that is important. This is something that is impactful. This is something that I do think, you know, I want to put my thoughts out there. I see a lot of comments from people, and, you know, I thought about just doing a community post, but I feel like that's not, you know, enough. I'd like to, you know, talk and, you know, express, you know, thoughts, prayers, all that stuff. It's just, again, it's scary. It's a scary situation, right? Seeing all these fires. I mean, you turn on the news, or, you know, you watch these things on like X or, you know, Instagram, or things that people are posting. It looks like, you know, a horror movie, or it looks like an apocalyptic movie. Right? It's like, it's crazy what is happening right now. And all the lives and families and people that are being impacted, all the wildlife. And it's just, it's a crazy world, right? Seriously. And, you know, hopefully this gets resolved sooner rather than later. Hopefully this doesn't, because, I mean, it's like spread. It's everywhere, right? And hopefully this can get, you know, something that's put in the past, and they can start to rebuild. But, like, where do you even start with something like this? Where do you even begin with something like this? It's crazy. It really is. But to talk about a basketball standpoint, right? Because, again, this is a basketball channel. I mean, this impacts the Lakers, period, right? Like, what's JJ's headspace? You know, the man just lost his home. His family just lost his home, right? I mean, his family was being evacuated while he was doing press conferences. You know what I mean? He even talked about it. I mean, which goes in to show how much of just a maniac he is, right? Just goes in to show how psychotic he is, right? And, you know, to add that to, you know, what the deal is, it's crazy. Is he going to be able to continue to stay focused? He's a first-year head coach. Is he going to be able to lock in and stay engaged, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out, to see how this potentially impacts just him from a mental standpoint. Now he is, like I said, he's psychotic, right? He is mental in a good way, right? So I think he'll kind of like, hey, I got a job to do. This is my job. Let's do it, right? And I think it would also be good for him in the sense of like, you know, you gotta take your mind off of it. So, you know, take the focus off of just the tragedy and focus on, you know, something. I mean, we've all been there, right? Like not to the, you know, where our house burnt down, but, you know, to where it's like we've all dealt with like a tragedy and it's like, man, like, why are you working right now? Take the day off. And it's just like, nah, like this is good for me, kind of keep my mind focused, or you want to like do something to kind of keep your mind focused. Obviously, you still want to deal with it. Obviously, you still want to kind of, you know, have that be something that you need to figure out and work out, but to kind of be able to step away into something that he loves and is passionate about, I do think is probably very therapeutic in a way, very helpful in a way. But obviously it's tragedy. Obviously it sucks, man. I couldn't imagine, you know, losing everything, right? Like to the point that they've lost it. So I am curious to see how that plays out. How does this impact the Lakers as a whole and the players and stuff like that? You know, what does the NBA do? Like, where does the NBA put these guys? Like, this is right in the midst of their homestand, right in the midst of, you know, where they were supposed to go on this run and do all this stuff, and now it's like, okay, we need to put this on pause. You know, from a, again, NBA standpoint, right? Keeping it strictly basketball, in this part here, you know. It means that guys get rest, right? LeBron James, Anthony Davis, you know, Austin Reeves are guys that are, you know, rehabbing or dealing with little nagging things, kind of get some extra time to get rest and reevaluate things and, you know, kind of take a step back, get their affairs in order and stuff. But at the same time, it's just sure that there's a lot of affairs to get in order, right? And players and stuff that have homes in the area. Like I said, these fires are being brought up all over the place. So I imagine that there's several players and, you know, or players that have family and stuff like that that are going to be impacted by this, right? It's just, it's madness right now, right? And, you know, from the NBA standpoint, right, trying to navigate. I mean, you have the Clippers too. Like, what are they going to do with the Clippers? Right, they're in Inglewood, but still, like, you know, you got all these fire. Like the air quality and air conditions aren't great. Do you really want your athletes running around? You know, depending on where this spreads and where this goes, right? Like, you got all these teams that are operating and coming and doing all. Like, I couldn't imagine trying to have to navigate all this stuff and try to figure this stuff out on the fly. You know, and obviously player health and is number one priority. Like, games are games, but like you need to keep the players and also fans, because you got to keep in mind, fans, they don't care, right? Like, you know, like they'll show up, they'll still support. So you also don't want to put them in danger and that air quality and stuff like that, and having them out and about. Like, no one should really be out and about breathing that air in and stuff, right? Like, that's could be devastating for a lot of people too. So it's just like, just getting attacked on all these fronts, and it's just like, man, like it's brutal, right? So the NBA has a lot that they need to figure out, that they need to navigate. I imagine Jeannie and Rob and, you know, the Lakers organization is probably working with Adam Silver and trying to come to a solution. Again, my guess is they probably just come here to Vegas, right? My guess is that they probably come out here to play some of those games because at the end of the day, it's a business. Show's got to go on. You know, there's a lot of other teams in other states and stuff that, you know, that have schedules and stuff like that. And, you know, so I imagine the NBA, they have to look at it from a business perspective. They have to look at it from, you know, and same thing with Jeannie. She's still got to look at it from a business perspective, right? So she's still got to, you know, kind of figure out, okay, like, where are we playing? How are we going to do this? How are we going to approach this, right? So a lot to still figure out. But, man, prayers up to just JJ Redick and everybody, right? I mean, you know, there's so many people that have just been ridiculously impacted. They continue to be impacted. Like I said, I mean, I've been on the phone regularly, just talking to a couple of my family members for like an hour just now before I jumped on this video and did all this stuff because, you know, just trying to make sure they're good, they're safe, they need something, let me know. Like, you know, and do the same thing, please. If you have family that's living in California or friends or anybody, or if you're in California but you're not in the area that they're dealing with or anything like that, you know, please just be safe out there because this is, like I said, it's crazy. It's already like the most like catastrophic. I don't think it's like the biggest, but it's like the most catastrophic, I think was what I saw in like California history. So this isn't a joke, but help your neighbor, right? Whatever you can do to help and support, right? Obviously this is catastrophe, right? This is, you know, the way you counter such chaos and devastation is through, you know, positivity and love. You know, as cliche as that sounds, right? Like if you can, you know somebody, reach out to them. If somebody you know needs a place to stay because people have had to evacuate and do all this other stuff, right? Like anything that any of us can do, right, to help and all that stuff. I think, you know, try to kindness goes a long way to supporting people. Look, I'm not a big YouTuber or anything like that. You know, I wish I had, you know, $1 million to just kind of help combat this and, you know, help with shelter or pay for food or stuff like that. I'm small. I mean, I get a couple thousand views a video. You can imagine the pennies that I make. But like I said in the beginning of this video, all of the proceeds that I make from this video, because one, I want to help how I can. Two, I also don't want to feel like I'm profiting off of talking about this, you know, in any way. So all the profit that I make on this, I'll send out to some organization. I'm not really familiar with that. If you know any, please let me know down in the comments where maybe I can kind of send some stuff once this video clears and all that. So any kind of relief or even like, you know, to support aid or whatever. Because even when the fires get put out, there's still a lot that's going to need to happen. So whatever this video makes, I get it the following month, then I will find out how much this video made, and the profits I will send out as a donation to try to help. And that'll kind of be my part. But anyway, let me know your thoughts and opinions on the situation down in the comments below. And, you know, share. I feel weird saying that, but share, like this video, because like I said, I will donate the more money this video makes, the more I can send out. So just something to keep in mind. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in the next one. Be safe out there, please.